excited today to just quickly share in something that we want to share in. It's Saturday. What are we doing? We are dressing for our Saturday fashion photos. So we are doing this nice crop top. We are doing our nice jeans, high-waisted jeans. And then we are doing our Zara suit with that, right? So let me quickly just check where we are at. I've just added some lipstick. I've done my hair and I flattened my hair and I've done the makeup and I've added some foundation under the eye and I've added lipstick color. We want to get a different lipstick color for this year's fashion photos. We want to do it differently. So now I'm just flattening my hair a little bit because remember my hair is very thick inside and I don't know if I've shared it yet with everyone that my hair is very thick, but I tend to want to do it around the thickness, right? So while I'm styling it and it's very thick inside, in the inner side of the hair scalp, I am trying to do it as kind as I can with my hair dookie and with the educations that I've had, right? So I really don't want to take my hair dookie off quickly, but let me just quickly share that with everyone. That everyone can check what I'm actually explaining, and then we can add the hair dookie into our hair. So that's how we style the hair, right? And that's how we do our hair for our Saturday photos. And then what I do is I edge the hair so, and I exactly do it the way I require, and then I do that with the hair. So what I've done is I've tongued the back, right? So the back is nice, flat and tongued. And I've tongued the front part, and then I just quickly add the dookie so that we get the exact style. We'll lift the whiskers a little bit up because we don't want the hairstyle to look a little bit blunt. Our eyebrows is not that perfectly done, but we probably within due time is going to get the perfect eyebrow angle if we get our perfect mascara that we're going to get at the stores to get the perfect eyebrow design that we want to do. You design on these eyelashes, right? And that's what we do. And then another thing, when we design, so our face is nice and clear for everyone who have had a scan into our skin. It's looking nice. We nurture it very kindly, and we nurture it with normal water. We don't add soap to our skin, definitely not. And what I also nurture my skin with is I nurture my skin with normal household butter that you put on your sandwich bread. And that's what I put on my face, right? So I butter my face, and then after the butter, I add the foundation cream if I want on any day or the other. Otherwise, the butter does exactly the completeness. You take butter, you put it in a tin for you, and you keep it somewhere in your house by your fashion stuff, and you allow your face to naturally within the waters of the butter, because butter has got its own natural water and its own natural different type of oil, and that oil I've learned is very kind on my face, right? And we nurture that. Another thing that's quickly where we are at, we are wearing this, yes, and we are gonna be wearing our high-waisted jeans, and we do this fashion design with our Zara page. So everyone, let me quickly show our table. And that's where our plant is at. Our plant is currently blossoming again, so everyone would be excited to know that our plant is blossoming. Our AWOKH photo is on the table. Yes, our AWOKH photo is there. Our self this year photo is there. And then our introducing you, yeah, appreciating self, right? That was 2020. Remember, this year was in 2023, 2022. And we are just having to work on this season. And also with self goes into edition 1. We want to prepare the thorough video for everyone, but press play on every video. There's a motivation on every video while we want to prepare a complete video to upload for our YouTube viewers so that they can listen to. So while we are working on that complete video, enjoy edition 1. And that is available with every motivation that we see with that. And the season, the journey with edition 1, right? So what we are sharing on our social media pages is the journey that we are walking with everyone with our edition 1 of Self 2024. So enjoy every journey that we post, listen to our motivations, and understand the season that we're really educating in. Another thing is that's where our plant is at, everyone. It's blossoming again. The plant has been outside for quite some time and then it didn't blossom. And we brought it inside again. I brought it inside because I realized when the plant is inside the house, then it blossoms. And when it's standing outside, then it doesn't blossom. And I had to bring it once again inside. That's where we are at. Another thing that we still have in our area of the house is we still have our nutcracker, everyone. Say thank you for 2023 December and 2023. The boulders of the house, the nutcrackers, they are not crazy guys. They are not crazy Ribea Elises, but they are really playing an important part amongst humanity. And they're really building the office builders, the office managers, the office business owners. And we call them sometimes the nutcracker, and they are not so nutty. They manage a lot of processes amongst humanity. So let's be kind with all that we have been educated about humanity. Another thing that humanity have been educated a lot about is Mr. Santa Claus, right? And we know that we have learned a lot about Mr. Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, and we really stay in the education room of nurturing this festive seasons. And why are they still in our house and not yet packed away? Is because we are just waiting to stock the cupboards with grocery foods, and we haven't done that yet. And why, when we allow ourselves to stock the cupboards with enough food that we are required to have for the first time of the year, then we are going to pick these ones away for our Christmas thank yous for the year 2023 and the Christmas present gifts that we receive is we stock those cupboards and the food cupboards, yes. And then what else do we have? There's the Christmas tree not even packed away. And then we are just waiting to stack everything away. All our Christmas goodies are true. And they are so waiting to be stacked away. And that's the kindest goodies. But they say they can't leave the room until we have stocked our food cupboards. Because isn't that what Christmas is for? Everyone being fine in these seasons. And until we have not stocked the food cupboards yet for January, and for the first months of the year, January, February, we're already by February, yes, happy February, everyone. So for January, February, for this term of the year, they can't leave the lounge room if they had not had the cupboard stocked. And that's what Christmases are for. For those people who have stocked up with the foods of the first term of the year already and did grocery shopping already, for the first term of the year, we buy day by day. But I believe, and I know South Africans knows that this Ribea believes in the cupboards needs to be stocked up. And the food needs to just be there when you open the cupboards. So we are just by that part of the season. That no one leaves the house. What has Christmas been, everyone? No one is going to be angry when there's no food. No one is going to be angry when there's no this or that. There's only what's required to be ate. But when there's everything and we open the food cupboards, then no one is angry on any day for anything. And that's quickly where we're at with that season. Another thing, everyone, let me quickly just get a standard for our phone while I'm just quickly going to put my booking on again. We don't want, sorry, Santa Claus, you stand that side quickly. Yeah, and we don't want anyone to now think that we are now just everyone gonna just now snatch away what it is that we wanted to celebrate. I want to celebrate some songs. Last week I did a song also. What was the song that I did last week? It's very kind songs on what it is that we do in our seasons, right? But it's more songs for musical place. And I shared a song last week on our YouTube page, and I'm gonna share another song on our YouTube page when I really now get to what I wanted to say. What it is that we want to say. Sometimes, yeah, it's like sometimes we ought to say what it is we want to say. And then I tend to put the song together while we go along, that it is mostly musical songs, and I love musical, I love art. Our family loves art. Our family has been artists all of the years, yes. And we love everything about art, everything about sports, everything about fashion. And I love my musical putting songs together with myself in the house and just doing my own thing. Sometimes we want to say what we ought to have to say. But there's so many times, na 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 na. Na 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 na. While I make a cup of tea, I'm just gonna get to what I want to share quickly, with that song, and what I want to say with a few previous songs, because I believe that we find ourselves in a season where people are designing, and when we design, we share information around, and some people can work from the information we see. And what we focused on last week, we were saying something. Some things are meant to be. And we did the song on that, and we shared that musical term for that song. And it was a very lovely song, and it was a very lovely environment in my house. And I love that motivation that I had with addition to that is, some things are meant to be. And we're gonna get quickly to the words of that song while I'm quickly gonna make a cup of tea, please. And then we're gonna quickly just say that with everyone. Oh, it goes on with that song. And we are in a season where we have to not. Sometimes we have to those kind of things that we can do ourselves most of the time. I'm going to get my cup of tea quickly, because sometimes we have to allow ourselves that everything about it to be who we really say that we are. And that's not easy most of the time. Let me quickly get my cup of tea quickly. We're going to continue this journey with that song. Yes. Yeah, now I've not made tea, but I'm enjoying milk. And it says, sometimes we have to allow ourselves to be who we say we are. For there's so many things we ought to want to say or do. And there's so many things, one requirement to stay true. And that's where we want to be. We're just gonna open the door with the amazing weather strains in our way. Sometimes we have to allow ourselves to be who we really are. Because on the days that we are not who we say that we are, then we tend to transform into what everyone else wants us to be. And sometimes when we transform so much, it diverts us off of who we really are. Ribea, Elise, the person. AWOKH as a representation, our self photo this year as a representation. But sometimes Ribea has to allow ourselves to be who Ribea, Elise in a season is. And we know sometimes it's harsh words for some people to learn, that we so often divert off of who is Ribea, Elise in her season, right? We so often divert off of who is Ribea, Elise, the person in a season. And we want to sometimes, so many times, transform ourselves into what other people require us to be. And therefore, we have to most of the time allow. The wind is lovely blowing. Oh, I love it. Look at the wind. And it's lovely and it's red. And our hair is nice and shiny. It's a very kind weather. Yeah, let's quickly begin our morning's amazingness with our YouTuber. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to shift the camera to somewhere we really can enjoy our Saturday morning tea peace with everyone. And sharing some good motivation keys, yes. And that's right. And then the wind blows over. And then we tend to be fine with that and just put ourselves again how we are having to put ourselves in our seasons. So we are by the 2nd, 3rd of February. And while it is the 3rd of February for our household, we celebrate 50 years with my brother Zach Philander this year. Now on about the 9th to the 7th of February, I know him and my papa's birthdays. The one was on the 7th, the one is on, my papa used to be on the 9th or on the 7th. On the 9th, I think. And then, so we celebrate their birthdays now in the month of February. The very first, brother Zach, 50 years old. The very first birthday of the year for our brothers and sisters. And then we celebrate Brother Martin's 55th this year, excitedly, the 1969 earthquake baby. That used to be on my mama's arms when my mama was on the 1969 Telbach Saron earthquake those many years ago, when it was my mama moving from Elan's Play in California area, and my mama then moved to Ceres area, and that night on the Telbach Saron Road, South Africa had a very big earthquake, and my mama on that night was walking with baby Martin, and we celebrating baby Martin's 55th birthday this year. Yay! We are very excited. Antoinette is celebrating this year 48 years old, yes. Excitably, 2 years ago before she's doing her 50th. In all excitement, me and brother Anton is the 40 babies. The babies of Mama Anna Philander, brother Antoine Philander, and Ribea, baby Ribea. We were next to one another. I always say our whole family was born like that. So we're gonna do this so and everyone's gonna love it. So me and my brother, let me give everyone a good angle into the shoe also while we are sitting so nicely. So me and my brother Antoine, we are the babies of the womb. And excitably, I always say, because our family is born 2 years after the other, right? We all 2 years, the one after 2 years after the other. And because our birth womb is exactly like that, I always say we were laying next to one another like twins in the birth womb. But we were actually born the one the year after that, the other one the year after that. And that's our family womb, the 7th babies of Mama Anna Philander's womb. And Papa Yapi's 4 children is Brother Zach Philander, Brother Antoine, baby Ribea, and Antoinette, baby Ribea is the baby. And Brother Richard Philander is the second oldest, and he's one of our Richard and Martin Philander opportunity. So they had the opportunity to both nurture their strengths differently. With Zach Philander had these different opportunities. So that's where we are at with celebrating this year. I'm going to celebrate my 41st birthday And while I'm going to celebrate that, we're going to walk the year this year with the 40th birthday podcast also. For everyone who has listened to our motivations is kind on us where we're at in our seasons, right? Like we say in South 2024 discussions, we are educating the 40 room this year. And the 40 room is Ribea Elise presenting and representing herself in the room. It is that is the life journey of Ribea Elise, right? The opportunity of choice of me, Ribea, my season. How do I respond to the choices that I have to make for myself, the choices that I'm required to be kind and self, and the choices that I'm required to be iron to self and to be owen to self, right? I always call it owen because in English it is owen, but in Afrikaans we call it you have to be iron to self. You have to be natural to self most of the times. And doesn't mean that the fake nails is not natural. Natural doesn't mean that the hair weave is not natural. Natural means that every education, that when my sister Antoinette introduces herself, and then you get to know the person Antoinette, and no matter if she's wearing on that day a weave and nails, it's for me very important that I always get to be introduced to my sister in all her different seasons, rather than looking at the hair weave and getting to be introduced to someone totally different. And that's what I love about the self-education this year. It gives us an opportunity to not look at what we are saying word for word exactly, but to listen to what is it that we are actually educating and that we are actually presenting when we are presenting ourselves in our seasons, and that we are actually representing when everything we do becomes something that someone else learns from. And therefore, being open to self is really allowing ourselves our every opportunity to be ourselves, our every opportunity to present Ribea Elise in however odd way or right way or wrong way or fine way, that some people that listens in get to know Ribea Elise. It is in the oddness of that I love everything natural, and I love a hair weave, and I love the false nails, but I love to be own to myself also. And that's how I make my life choices. Yes, I educate on the self because we take on the self a journey through the garden with our self motivations. And because we take different motivational journeys through the garden, right? We educated in a way that is that in your self journey that you are taking, that is your life journey itself, right? You have an opportunity to allow yourself, and that we educate as being the opportunity choice. And the opportunity choice is that every second of every day we are required to make a choice. And every second of that choice becomes your opportunity that you grant yourself in whatever choice you make. We know so many things happens that are out of people's controls today. And that's why when we say be open to yourself and be self, then we don't mean that you are not yourself. We mean that that opportunity choice that evoking that Ribea Elise educates requires us to allow ourselves in the choices that we make. So many times we make choices so that other people feel fine about us and about how Ribea Elise present, and about Ribea Elise wearing the Zara photo in the video, the Zara suit in the video, Ribea Elise wearing this top in the video, Ribea Elise wearing this jeans. And my sister Antoinette educates me that she does not only shopping by Zara and that or by H&M, but she goes into every store that she's fine with about herself in a season. And that is such is the requirement of us to allow ourselves our seasons and to allow ourselves us and that season. And we have to get it right. And I always say, I'm Ribea Elise that believes in you, believes in you have to get it right, and you get it right the first time. It's opportunity of choice. Life give. You have to get it right, and you get it right the first time. It's opportunity of choice. Life give you different directions. Life says, well, there's only one way in this world. And if you keep on going in that journey, and that is what I educate with my self-motivation, I take you through a journey in the garden. And if you really allow yourself to listen to what is our self 2024 meaning, and you listen to what is the journey that life requires us to take, and then life says that in this world there's so many roads, and in this world there's so many requirements, but our opportunity of choices that is season making. Do not divert off of the road. That is in one of my motivations that I says Everyone, don't divert off of the road, but keep on going. Because remember, the moment that we divert off of our choices and that we divert into a different route than what we are really on, then there's something different that are required of us in our seasons. And because on this journey of life we get familiar, we get one family with what life requires of us. The moment that we divert a different road is the moment that you are sometimes not familiar with what the requirement would be. And that is what our self-motivation 2024 is all about. Let us not divert off of those journeys. I know so many times we want to change for whatever anyone wants us to do. But my motivation today with everyone is on this Saturday. Do not divert off. Stay on that direction. Life says there's a left arm and a right arm. Nothing is wrong in this universe. But we are required to make an opportunity of choice that is fine for us. And when we make those choices, don't divert off of it. I mentioned in the video also that my Nibblebit's career, my upbringing, my employment history, my educational history is everything that I am not diverting off of all that I have learned over the years. My AWOKH business means not diverting off. If I allow myself to silence my AWOKH business education, then every other education that I've had over this life journey becomes to me like I'm not myself then in that. And therefore, my requirement to my AWOKH business is that I stay grounded where I'm at, and I stay on direction of where life brought me onto in the journey. And my AWOKH business represents and presents everything, Ribea, Elise, everything AWOKH in season and the awokenness about our seasons. That is it, everyone. Have an amazing Saturday fashion photos with us. Enjoy our fashion and enjoy our motivation and share our motivation with everyone. Have an amazing Saturday.